constantly seeing the versus screen come out for me. It's just on loop. It's literally I keep hearing the damn sound. All right, I'm fine.
All right, we'll leave you in your own little personal hell.
I would agree with you. I think Poke does have an easier time. Triple melee heroes into this lineup is fairly bad. It can be really annoying. That's why I feel like you might actually need that Ags just for the move speed, just so you can chase. Like, because all you have to chase is really right now your Ember, who can kind of poke from afar, somewhat. Even as a melee hero, he can kind of still poke and prod from distance. But triple melee, not into just these core matchups, but into Disruptor, I think, is your big issue later on. Like Static Storm, it's not going to be too hard to land it on 3 melee heroes.
Yeah.
So you're always going to be able to catch with the cores. It's going to be a little bit rough for IGV. I think what IGV has is tempo. Like their lineup doesn't necessarily need too much farm if Totoro can hold his mid, and you can get these early timings and Ukiyo connect with the auras coming out from your off lane here. And then that's where the game can start to get online for IGV. Like that 20-minute mark is when you should kind of get your advantage. If you don't, then the game just gets easier and easier for Poke as time goes on.
Yeah, it certainly does. It certainly does. And there's some brutal timings. Like if you just get the Ags, then maybe like a Shivas on the Pudge and a Skadi on the Morph. Oh, it sounds so hard to play the game. But maybe the Lycan Ags is going to be the big counter to that. You can't be slowed anymore, and then your melee hero feels like a ranged hero, or just doesn't have the typical disadvantages there. But it does feel rough. I kind of feel like it was a bit weird that IG were like, haha, we've got this Monkey King. They think we're being idiots and drafting loads of melee heroes as cores, but instead we're going to catch them with the last pick, and then they pick a melee hero as a core for the last pick. It's like, oh, okay. But no, it's as we said, like IGV, they generally have good ideas, and I'm excited to see what they do with this and what their actual concepts are. Meanwhile, small cake in the middle lane. I love the build. Tango into 5 iron branches. My man has so many iron branches. He better got an iron tree in his inventory.
Pretty much. Like, the stats are really helpful up against the Ember. You've got a little bit more leeway with your strength and your full Agimorph as well. So you can kind of just control the lane a little bit better in the first few levels. If things get dicey, you always have a tree to drop. Eat up with the Tango, no problems. So it makes it a little bit more manageable. I'm taking a look up top right now with Ukiyo on that Night Stalker, along with SJ and Rubik up against Eren and Killa on the Mirana and the Beastmaster. We do see the axes being picked up here by Killa as well. So, not really going for the boar harassment melee matchup. I don't mind this too much. I feel like the axes have actually started coming back in most matchups. It just feels really solid to play with. Good source of damage coming through. And there's not much you can really do from IGV to stop it.
Yeah, and meanwhile, if you get the balls, then they can just like void and fade bolt them down. Obviously, if you do that, then you've wasted 2 spells on just killing a boss, so still pretty good for Killer. So wouldn't have been a bad option, but this does seem to be, so far at least, the more favorable play. He's doing pretty damn well in this top lane.
He's managing that lane pretty well. You aren't finding the best start for Ukiyo. At the same time, it's kind of to be expected. The Night Stalker just tends to be a glorified melee creep almost in lane, maybe just like a glorified super melee creep. So you kind of still have to wait for first nighttime, and you hope that you have the levels to kind of utilize that first night there as well. And the last lane we haven't really looked at is down bot. DQQ and the Monkey King attacks on that Lycan up against Lanfer on the Pudge and Ran Fudao on that Disruptor. It's a stable lane as well here for Lanfer. He's not being stopped at all. There's not much pressure. It's probably just down to, again, having so many melee heroes. Like, melee heroes into Disruptor is always kind of painful as well. When you run up, you can just get glimpsed away. So you can't really make any aggressive moves onto Ran Fu or onto Lanfer. He's just allowed to free farm in the Pudge. He's been hooking the large camp. He's been getting a ton of gold. And once you have a Vanguard on this Pudge, you're not going to harass him out as the Lycan. That's going to be a big part. Yeah. Most of your output on IGV is actually just physical for the early part of the game.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. It's in the top lane, Killer, just continuing to constantly chase and throw down these axes onto Ukiyo. He tries to avoid them, isn't able to do so. It's just so annoying. Poking and prodding and prodding and poking. Which is ironic, because their name is Poke Gaming. I also don't know what IRB is.
Yeah. They've been on point with all the poking on Poke, as you would expect from their namesake. SJ.
And they actually going to bring him down. Wow, okay. SJ, yeah, just not really being meted with the aggression here. And they're trying to get a kill. I don't think they're going to get it, though. Oh, they will just about. The right click comes through in the end, and they will take down each other. And Aaron is the only survivor in the top lane now. Go, Marana.
Yeah,
you're the carry now.
You're a bit disappointed that you don't find a kill on the Beastmaster first. So if you manage to soak up that EXP, it feels a little bit better. Still not really a massive loss coming out for the side of Poke. You're still feeling good. You're suppressing that top lane. We talked about the first nighttime being like a good timing for the Night Stalker to reel control back. He's not really set back from the level 4 where you're 2-0-2. So the Hunter and the Knight can feel a little bit more impactful. At the same time, like this all in on Killa for the Axis is going to be hellish for you to deal with regardless of night or daytime. Again, you can't just run down the Beastmaster at this point. And the spam ability of those Axes. Still has 2 mangoes, has a ring of Basilics, he's just diving.
Yeah, you say you can't run him down, but that seems to be what's happening here. The lift is out, but the all Axis 1 second. Gets him, nails him. Killa is just not stopping. Psycho Killer. What about you? SJ just can't even come close. He's trying to fight with his ball, but it's just too strong. The spin. Absolutely spin. And this tower is going to be taking some whacks right now. This top lane isn't just gone badly. It's gone to absolute hell in a handbasket. Uh-oh, bottom lane. On for Soleilter. Is he in trouble? No, he is not. All right, we're just chilling. Yeah, at one point in Jingu's actually not that scary. So just the position 4 monkey.
Yep, just poking and prodding. You have some windows open when you don't see Ranfu and he can't get the glimpse off, so the Pudge is a bit vulnerable. He does opt for the phase boots over just rushing the Vanguard components first, which makes enough sense. You kind of want to run around the map a little bit more. He is forced to walk back to base, so this is a lot of room for attacks to start building up on that Lycan. And he's almost at the Dominator timing. In fact,
nice.
He is flying it out. So you've got that timing ready on Lycan. You should be able to get your own push going. Doesn't quite have the sticks to run heroes down, but doesn't feel necessary. I think for IGV, all things considered, despite the top lane kind of getting pretty badly for Ukiyo, I think you're still finding some wins. You've got a decent time for Totoro. Tax is still on top of the world with his earlier Dominator timing. So you've got some pretty good spikes lined up for you here. If you can start to find objectives off the back of these timings, then you can still find your opening. Like even after that atrocious start for your safe lane Night Stalker, there is a recovery plan here for IGV.
But you said that they're poking poke. I mean, can you poke a poke? What happens if 2 people try to poke each other at the same time? Maybe their fingers collide, but right now Longbow's getting slided upon. Will they be able to finish the job here? It looks like they certainly will, and there is no hope of survival despite the glimpse and kinetic field from the Runfu Lao Dao. Disruptor, so now a tower can be sieged freely by the side of IGV. Maybe they can trade this one, but honestly, I kind of want to see Poke try to defend that tier 1 tower bot.
Yeah, they could. They don't really have any of their team fight spells up, though. They don't have Roar. Their lockdown is just pretty much Aaron landing an arrow.
Yep.
He'll TP in, at least, to try.
Yeah, he does manage to land it, actually. So DQQ is going to be taking a ton of damage here. It'll be enough to finish him off. Yes, it will. Man, Aaron is getting it done right now. The protagonist going to work.
Not the biggest kill to find, but it does relieve some of that pressure down bot, and you're able to find that kill solo. So not much commitment coming out from Poke to actually win out there. Tax will still give the tower a shot, and he's got the creep wave. He's got a nice Warpine creep as well, and he does have the 6
alive,
ready.
Though. They have 2 ways to kill it, and the arrow gets it done. Bye-bye, Mr. Pinecone Raider. You'll be doing no more raiding today.
Yeah.
Oh, quickly, is his brother going to get the same fate? That would be tragic if Tax kills both the Warpine Raiders in the same way. Meanwhile, up at top, Killer being jumped a little bit here. Totoro with the rotations, trying to get on top of Killer, and ooh, that's an interesting roll. And by interesting, I mean kind of bad. But bottom lane, they're going to get the kill onto DQQ, so that's something. A little bit of trading going on.
Yeah, you're a lot happier with IGV finding that kill Onto the Beastmaster, punishing Killa for just being alone for quite a fair bit. The one big thing that you are getting out here on Poke is a ton of space for the
Sorry.
Almost finding that sibling, but the sibling does live on. I think the side of Poke, I mean, you're dropping some kills here and there, but the issue still stands that this Morphling is pretty much uncontested in mid. Like, small KK has had a good lane. He's still free farming up. Doesn't really have rune control, but you're not really looking to rotate anyway. Lawnfur.
Yeah, he's got a lot of heroes. Wait,
Detection.
Detection. Ah, there we go. Monkey King comes in, delivers the goods, and Lawnfur. Oh, the kinetic field as well. They might be able to finish the job regardless, though. I mean, they're still trying to run him down, and they will be able to do so. The Sleight of Fist gets the job done. Lawnfur will be no more.
He walks up, tries to finish up the Vanguard, gets punished for it. I mean, he does have the Vanguard up. It does take a little bit more time to clean him up here from the side of IGV, but they find the kill, they find a tier 1 tower, so they equalize the map control. The side of Poke, they're still keeping Killa up top. Killa's rushing Ags! He's going for the drums of Slom!
Oh my god, the Slom!
What?
My guy, he's like, these drums are so rubbish that they're going to get deleted in like 10 hours time, so I want to play my drums. I want to sing the song of my people before we go down. I respect
Oh god. Totoro.
Yeah, that's a pretty bad death there on the Ember Spirit. Gets caught out by the Pudge, Dismember, very good ability.
Yeah, they hold him down. I'm still bewildered by Killa going for the Ags. Look, I'm an Ags believer. If anything, I feel like the Ags will be buffed up by the patch. I don't think Drums is conceptually a bad spell. I think it's actually a pretty cool spell. You get some damage, you get some healing. The weird thing is that he does not play his drums when he's silenced or stunned. I feel like he should just be drumming. It's a percussive instrument. It's not a spell.
Yeah,
you should just let the guy bang away.
I would,
or,
like,
maybe they're enchanted drums that play themselves.
A spell, then that means, you think you listen to rock music and like, wow, this guy's a magician. There's a wizard. There's a wizard at the back of this rock band. Crazy.
Yeah.
You're very easily impressed.
The damage output's huge, though. Like, the last few bangs are actually insanely high damage. So I'm keen to see. This is the kind of build you do on Turbo, and I think I did this when the drums were changed. When his Ags was changed, this is exactly what I did when the patch went out. I played a Turbo game. I rushed Ags and Blink. It was funny, but it didn't really win the game. Still, Ukiyo, not safe here.
Certainly not, no, and they're going to throw down everything on him. The Kinetic Storm, the Kinetic Field, the arrows, everything coming on through, and they will be able to finish the job here onto Ukiyo. Pretty close, honestly, but they still get the job done, and that's going to be more money into the pocket of Run Food now as he continues to be a menace on this Disruptor, really showing us why the hero is so darn strong. And, but yeah, like, back to the drums, I totally see what you mean, like, if I was a really, really bad player, then I would have been playing Clinks one day on very low HP and just run around the corner as the drums were coming off towards the end and just drop like 25% health to 0 health in like 1 second because I had no idea what the ability does and just saw this guy playing the drums was like, psh, I'm going to kill him and then die. But thankfully I'm a really good player, so that definitely didn't happen.
Yeah, definitely not. No, this does not sound like personal experience at all, Nomad.
Nope.
For sure.
Just a hypothetical.
The weird thing about Drums of Slom is that it feels like you kind of want to precast the drums before going for your Blink Roar. Like, you actually want the drums to channel for at least a second or two.
Yeah.
So you get the faster hits, and then you go in with a Roar at, like, the middle to end. And that's where the combination feels good. So I'm keen to see if that's what Killa will do. I still can't believe I'm seeing this in his item queue, but, you know, I'm sure Lizard would be... If I was with Lizard right now, he would be very tilted. He's like, what the hell is this?
Has he not a drums endurer? Nah, he's a bass player. That checks out, actually.
Yeah. I keep telling him, but what about the drums, Lizard? And he's like, oh, John, shut up. Shut up. I don't want to hear this from you, too.
No, Lizard's a simple man. If they change it to bass guitar of Slom, then he'd be all over it. He'd be like, best ability in game. No, man, let me tell you, this ability is so good.
Doom with a guitar Ags would be sick.
Yeah,
I think he's the hero deserving of that.
Twould be Pog. But yeah, Poker just really taking this game at their pace in the moment. They're very, very big killing. They've got like this Ags queued up for one fur. They're probably going to get that. And I mean, in a way, the Beastmaster Ags is also one of those items which is just going to be like, against all these melee heroes, probably feel pretty damn good.
Yeah, like you can kite around, you can just deal that drum damage in the fights. It's pretty low cooldown as well, so you can constantly commit for these fights, no problem coming out here. For IGV, their big issues are, yes, they're finding some trades every now and again. They haven't really bullied Morphling. Like, they haven't punished his pacing from Poke at all. Like, they're just keen to farm up themselves. They've gone Midas here on Ukyo, so his farm can ramp up, going for the Armlet next. The full Overlord, I think, is already flying out here on tack, so you have the Ancient Creep coming out at the least, which can make a big difference, but you already have some good foils here, and just the kinetic field from Ranfu can save them from these jumps. We'll smoke up on IGV, though.
Yeah, they're on the hunt. This could be a really big catch, but you gotta catch him with the lift before he gets all the strength. He's in the perfect place for them to actually find him right now. I kind of feel like they need one more hero if they want to catch them all. So instead, they're going to go for the Pudge instead. This is a slightly more realistic kill, and they should be able to bring him down without any difficulty here. Thinks about going for the Dismember, but then thinks better if it...
The X-Drop.
Bye.
Drums of Slom is here.
Oh, yeah, let's go. Let's go.
I'm so happy.
Song of my people.
Why?
I mean, he doesn't want to get the helm because he's against Night Stalker. So got to think outside the box. Sometimes we go too far outside the box and end up in another realm of existence entirely, and I'm absolutely for that.
Yeah, I mean, normally you'd go like an Aura build, Guardian Greaves, a pipe maybe. Crimson Guard has some utility here.
Keep up with
we
the
might
smoke.
see the usage here.
Okay, see you later, buddy. The roar comes out. The drums are in. Oh, look at the drums go! Absolutely shredded, SJ there. Oh, actually, I'm going to get another one here. Totoro, don't really catch him at the end. Okay, a little bit awkward on the timing there, but still. He used it. Let's see that fight recap. Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
So much damage. Definitely all the drums.
It is actually a significant amount of damage, to be fair, but it's just so funny.
86 damage dealt to the Rubik. Okay, that's something. I didn't get to click on the Ember in time, but to the Monkey in time. But I'm sure it was a lot.
It's good because you tie in with his timing. With your Pudge on top, you have a lot of AoE. You can run down these melee heroes, as you mentioned here, Nomad. So it does make sense. I'm just surprised you go for this over Aura, because Aura just feels like what everyone's been going for. But you know what? I'm all for it. This is an offensive Aura in a way, right? Like
interesting.
It's a damaging Aura on the enemy team.
It's a grease, but just for yourself, and only when you're drumming people.
SJ has the hook. He got the hook.
Very nicely done, but is it nicely done? I mean, the rest of the team coming on through. Ronfu can't really do much about it. Looks like Lonfur is going to be fighting another death here, delaying his Aghanims even further. Yeah, it has been a rough game for the Pudge, and that's all been the moves of IGV recently, just kind of really shoving on the pressure. And talking about pressure, they're looking to take this middle tier 1 tower. Killer, what is the play? He's got a roar available in just 3 seconds, so could be an opportunity. That was a close hook as well. SJ really threatening here. Aaron, not well, he did pop the mech, which was maybe the response to the hook.
Yeah. Does
he was
at least get a little bit of a heal out?
Yeah, just like, I'll heal you, my friends, before I go to my death. Oh, okay, I'm fine.
It's perfectly fine. I don't know if they had enough to lock in the Mirana, even if the hook came out. Like, she could still theoretically leap away unless you've got the crippling fear from Ukyo right on top of that Mirana.
And we
so
had
might not have
right?
even been a... Yeah, they still had the tele at the least. Try again.
Oh, that's a lot of damage. Jesus Christ. Darren just gets clogged down and they'll go looking for more. The lump up from IGV, I mean, when they get on top of you is pretty damn scary. The melee mob just comes smashing down on Killer and on Aaron, and they just get absolutely annihilated. Look at the damage coming out from that Lycan. Goodness gracious me.
It's a lot of output right now. You're already pretty much farmed up to where you want to be here on Tax. Drums plus Overlord ready. And pop the Wolf form as well. So the output is there. For the side of Poke, they're just respecting this. You know, they're playing it safe. They want to hit these Ags timings. They want these early BKBs. Lonfer is not safe here, though.
Ooh. DQQ doing a little bit of dodging, a little bit of tricky feet there. Yeah,
Hops right out.
Is scary. I mean, John, how do you avoid tax? What's the best way of tax avoidance?
You can't. You've got to file your taxes. Be responsible citizens,
Good job.
Everyone.
Almost got him. Almost got him, guys. We almost got John.
Can't dodge the tax. You do not dodge tax. I mean, at the least in this game, to dodge out the Lycan tax, at least ensure that Ronfu doesn't die. I think as long as you've got the kinetic field, you're pretty safe up against tax. They'll try Roshan here on Pope. They missed the arrow, which is unfortunate. Aaron says the okay. I mean, theoretically, Drums of Slom speeds this up as well if Killa wanted to go that route, but we'll save it for the team fight. It doesn't feel like their output makes this a fast Rosh at the same time. IGV don't expect this.
Yeah. Doesn't miss the second arrow on Rosh, so good job, Aaron. Improvement is what we aim for, so, you know, that's what's important. If you miss the first but you hit the second, then you're in an upward trajectory, and that's better than hitting both arrows, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you strive for improvement, although consistency would be nice. Glimpse back.
Bye-bye. Nice little kill to SJ there as well. Utilizing the Hawk vision and the glimpse. Always feels so good to play Disruptor with like one extra vision utility on your team. Whether that be Wolves, whether that be Hawks, whether that be Track. Just kidding, no one plays Bounty. That's another hero which could use some sort of, maybe even a rework. I don't know. Track is kind of a weird one.
We've seen some Bounty Track, I think, in Dream League at least. So, Bounty Disruptor. It's pretty disgusting when you do see that. But yeah, Bounty Hunter's in a weird spot. I don't know, this patch, it's got to be amazing. You know, it has to solve my family issues. It has to solve my health issues. You know, everything. It has to be the answer to my life here, Nomad.
No, I agree. It's got a lot riding on it. If it's not a good patch, then I don't know what I'll do. Very sad, but it will be. I believe. I believe.
Round through.
Ice Frog's never let me down. Round 3 though does get let down. Tax gets him. Wasn't able to tax avoid. Shame. Yeah,
I mean, he had a kinetic field. Figure you just cast it ahead of you, run into it, and then you're kind of safe. It is fun watching Killa use the Drums of Slom to farm.
That's been its main use so far, I'll be honest. Didn't go for the Blink Dagger as well, so it doesn't have that extra bit of mobility to kind of get on top of heroes. And it's actually going for the Wraith Pact, taking it back a few patches. What a retro guy.
That.
You like it?
I think you understand it's a lot of physical on IGV, so go for the Wraith Pact. You don't have range to clear it. They'll chase down Lonfer here, though.
Yeah, let's see if this axe can help survive a little longer. Killa's coming out from behind, roars the dragon.
What? Why?
And gives the roar away to SJ. Interesting. I think is the best way to describe that. Probably the politest way to describe that. As small KK comes running in. You've got to be careful. They do have a roar, but you've also got an Aegis, so who gives a damn, I guess. In we go. Roar comes out. There we go. Small KK getting beaten down. That'll be the first life gone. Now, can they catch out Totoro? Doesn't really look like it. DQQ's going to throw down the Wukong's command as well.
Still the drums.
He's stunned. He needs to get out. He's not going to be able to do so. He's dead. The Morphling is out, but look at the damage coming out from the punch. Is it going to be enough? They'll take down one. Yukio drops. They need to get more, though. And inside that Wukong's command, they just don't feel like they can go in for this one. Yeah, the Slom, not quite enough. But you could see that they ticked really, really low on the side of IGV. Like, it looked like it was all going to go crashing down with the Rot plus drums, but not quite enough in the end. And as you can see there, the Pudge and the Beastmaster ones doing primarily most of the damage in that fight.
Yeah, because you lost your Morphling so early on. Small KK tries to rotate in the backside by himself and just gets taken out. A little bit disconnected from Poke this time. IGV, and they work as a unit. They get some big steals out from SJ. And Killa giving out the roar is pretty big.
That was
like that should not have happened.
But also, the Morphling saw that happen and chose to go in anyway, you know. You got to take responsibility for your own actions as well. Like, yeah, okay, Killa, that was mega sus from you, my friend. But also, you know the situation is. It's not like he stole roar in the middle of the fight and immediately used it on the Morph. Like, the Morph chose to run in and get roared, so...
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Poke.
it's
Sort it out,
a little
lads.
bit awkward for Poke. I do
Get it
enjoy
together.
that. I do enjoy that SJ steals drums. With his spell amp, it's 140 per
Oh,
hit.
he did.
That's a big DPS boost.
Big pog.
You know, it's actually huge. So if he had his own link up, he gets that going.
He's got a shard. He can
And
just
it kept
throw
him
himself
alive.
in.
Yeah, it kept him alive in that last fight too because of the healing.
Oh, really?
So he didn't die. He was dropping fairly low in that fight, and drums up, healing from the damage. They were all clumped up.
Yep.
Gets to live.
Well, a little bit awkward now as no Aegis on the side of Poke means that small KK is going to have to go back to the safe farm. Closes off the map a little bit for the side of Poke. The advantage they once had is pretty much gone, and yeah, I'm starting to wonder, but Morphling should have, after this BKB, start going for the Skadi, and that's going to be a very, very scary timing indeed. And look at these items coming out there. Against all this physical, right-click, melee damage, so we're seeing this, wow, actually, the Crimson Guard comes out immediately as they try to catch him out, and there's still a lot of damage coming through onto Cello from Fleur, but he's going to come in with the Dismember onto Totoro. It's not going to be able to bring him down, though, and he's going to be able to get himself away from this one. It's Lonfor who drops instead. And now, IGV, they're still sticking around. The BKB out from Small KK makes him a formidable target, though, as they do kill off DQQ with the pokes. And now, well, let us take control of this area, get the D-wards coming through, and try to put some pressure on this tier 2 tower.
You should be able to get a decent enough shove, not the fastest. You don't have your own Dominator or Overlord creep. So it's not like the full push potential of the Beastmaster coming through here. And we are seeing issues for Killer. Like, he needs this BKB on top. Like, his drums does just get canceled off once he's silenced, which is unfortunate. You have a good source of silence just in the Night Stalker.
Oh,
you're not able to drum as much.
Onto the Ember. Can they save him? SJ does come in with the shard save, but it's not enough. They bring him down. The drums get the job done, but Killer is going to pay the price for this one. He bangs the drum, and then he gets hammered himself. Small KK might want to get out of here. Oh, there comes the silence. He's got a Manta, but that doesn't help you at all against this. But, oh, beautiful kinetic field, though. He's starting to get away, though. He's holding this waveform. The Stars come through. He's been aggressively to run through them, and he's going to be able to get on top of Tax. Tax has been killed, and now he moves across towards Yukio as well. Small KK is pretty much uncontested in this fight as they turn it around beautifully. The balls on this Morphling not to waveform away. Save it, 'cause he knows he's got the Manta in his pocket, and turn this fight around. That was a great read from side of Poke.
Yeah, Poke were ready to back him up. Like, Lonfer comes back in. With BKBs kind of fading at that point, being on cooldown, he just manages to clean up that fight. With Rot up, he keeps the hold on to Ukio with the Dismember, and this Crimson Guard, it's causing a lot of issues for IGV. Like, their lineup is still all in on physical. So you don't have a good way of just bursting them down magically. It's just not there. That's mainly just down to SJ trying to do what he can on a Rubik, and it's not like you can always find those big spells in the middle of these fights. So you're going to have a problem, especially once the BKBs start flowing in for Killa. Like, once Killa has a BKB, I think you feel pretty safe. And even a BKB up as well on Lonfer. Like, those timings are big. In fact, Lonfer has 2 BKBs queued up.
Oh, good.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Of course, when you have 2 BKBs, then you can look a bit stupid, which is always important.
Or maybe he knows something. Maybe in the next patch you can buy 2 BKBs to make a super BKB.
Wow. Mega BKB.
Yeah. Which
maybe it's going to be like you can reset your BKB's cooldown, but not by buying the recipe, but buying an entirely new BKB. That would make late game
broken for the late game
and boring. Whoop. Hook does not connect. Alas. Golem looking very threatening. Again, teams just trying to get a measure of each other. A couple of jabs across the ring now. A Small KK commits to kill off SJ here. The BKB has been used, however, so it is something. Oh, beautiful little look coming across there, just snagging onto DQQ. The overcommitment, though, from the Disruptor is a bit extreme, and IGV will be able to back themselves away without too much difficulty. It is just the supports who have dropped, but it's also the map being controlled by the side of Poke, and that is what is important.
Yeah, they get control back in the top
area.
jungle. And they've got an angle into the Roche if they want to kind of go in there. They can shove in mid, and the side of IGV. And they're still farming up. This blink on Ukiyo is going to be their own big timing. You can jump in, get that crippling fear off, just get some control in these fights, force out some BKBs earlier on, and then try to weave in and out. Maybe hold on to your own BKBs for as long as you can, then re-engage. Like, that has to be what IGV does. That's where they're most successful, when they draw poke out to these awkward fights. They'll try to smoke up here, though.
Yeah, Killer's the target, and I think they might be able to grab him here. He's on the run, but the drums of Slum are going to be cancelled out immediately by the silence, and down goes the Beastmaster. Oh, but he's drumming the bangs. Drumming the bangs? Wow. I'm just going to stop.
Yeah, he's drumming the bangs right now as they will go into the rush. Yeah, they've got it. And for poke, I mean, they can still contest this. It's not like it's going to be the freest rush for IGV.
Buyback smoke up. They were going to try and fight this one. The hook onto the wolf, not the target they wanted. Selonfa trying to get into the pit. They're going to try and stun him up straight away, lift him up, throw him back. They want to try and finish off and get that Aegis, but it comes the wolf. Who gets it? It's Totoro that picks it up, though. And Small KK trying to find a bit of this one, but Totoro almost immediately dead, but yep, does go down. Can they catch him? That is the question. Arrow is there. Beautifully timed from Erin, and they will kill him off twice. What is going on in that pit? Why are there like 20 remnants in there? I don't know. But either way, that was messy.
Yeah, that was not the way you wanted it to go for IGV. Again, not the freest rush. They had the buyback. They have this Pudge that can just run up with that Crimson Guard BKB, not scared of anything at all. And that's only first Roshan's. It's second rush, so it doesn't feel amazing for the side of IGV to lose out in that. They can't make use of the second life, and the push is kicking in from poke. They can just go high ground. There is still the fortifies. There's still a buyback. Fairly quick respawn here on your Ember, but no nighttime for Ukiyo. No Dark Ascension to play with as well.
He's Dayman. Dayman not scary. Nightman, very scary. Devilman, traumatic. Don't watch it. Middle barracks have gone down in the middle lane, up to the top side. We go poke. There is no brakes on the poke train right now. They're poking, they're prodding, and they're doing much more than that. IGV, they are 5 heroes up, but as you say, just feeling pretty impotent at the moment. They're going to have to wait a little bit longer to be strong. 9 seconds till Dark Ascension. Maybe that's something they can play around. Maybe they can get back and defend this one. That is certainly going to be the attempt being made here. They'll use the Boundless Strike just to try and slow things down a little bit. Totoro's stunned. He's got the BKB though, so they can try and make this fight happen. Again, the Night Stalker looking for the entry. Round on the backlines here. It's Killer though, just initiating. They'll throw the Roar down onto Ukiyo. SJ's actually just stolen the drums once again. Not an ideal spell for the Rubik as Ukiyo does fall. The Wukong's command is there, but it's really not doing much. There's a position for Monkey King. It's not holding them back as they'll just mow them down regardless. And now they can get back to the back. Oh, that's a nice glimpse. Dragging back tax all the way back over. And they'll be able to run it down. And KK with the wonderful chains coming out onto 2. SJ saves himself. She knows Totoro can save himself as well. And both of them will sit in the fountain and think about calling GG. And that's exactly what they do. GG comes out. It is Poke that take game number 1 in 32 minutes.
And that's a quick one. And that was fairly straightforward for Poke.